Okay, so now we have our data from Performance Tracker and we've exported it into Excel. So what's the big deal? What can we do with the data now? With Excel, you can do a lot of manipulation of the data that's not available within Performance Tracker. You can sort the data, you can filter the data, and you can print out the filtered data. Let's take a look at some of the things you can do with Excel to help analyze student data. We'll begin with a simple sort. Now, because I had sorted the data in Performance Tracker, notice that the data is appearing sorted from lowest score to highest score according to the regular PSSA. But if I wanted to change that sorting, suppose I wanted to sort it from highest to lowest score, in order to do a sort within Excel, basically you click on a column header, click on the Data tab within Excel, and simply choose sorting from A to Z in ascending order or Z to A, descending order. So if I were to click on this, notice an error message comes up. There are some merged cells in this particular spreadsheet. So what I need to do first is get rid of those merged cells. It's a very, very easy thing to do. Simply select the entire spreadsheet. You can hit the Control key, and while you hold it down, hit A, Control A, or in the upper left-hand corner, notice the gray box that's in between the column header A and the row number. And if I simply click on that box, I've actually selected or highlighted the entire spreadsheet. So I select the entire spreadsheet, I click on the Home tab in Excel, and under Merge and Center, click on the drop-down arrow and choose Unmerge. Okay, now I can click anywhere in my spreadsheet, and I've made the spreadsheet more manipulable, if that's a word. I can massage the data now within the spreadsheet. So in order to sort from highest to lowest, I'll click on the column header that I want to sort by, Score. I'll click on the Data tab because I want to do something with the data, and I'll click in the manner that I want to sort, from Z to A. And so I've sorted all the data from the highest score to the lowest score in the PSSA test. Now, you might be asking, how am I certain that all the data stayed together correctly? Well, let's try this. And of course, you don't actually have to do this. This is just for demonstration purposes. I'm going to highlight a particular student and score and give it a background color. Now we're going to do another type of sort, and in doing that sort, the background color will indicate the data that has stayed together. So let's say we want to sort on the score again, so I'll click on Score, and this time I'll sort data from lowest to highest. So I've clicked on Score and I've sorted from lowest to highest, and as I scroll down, we'll see that the data that was highlighted all stayed together. So when you do a sort in Excel, you don't have to worry about data staying together. The one thing that you do have to worry about, though, is headers. Notice when we did the sort that we've lost our headers up at the top here. The computer took those headers and sorted them according to the scores as we had indicated and placed the headers at the bottom. So I'm just going to do an undo here. One thing you might keep in mind as far as sorting is concerned, if you have headers in data in columns above the data that you want to sort, you might want to use an alternative method of sorting, and that is to highlight the data that you want to sort. So I'll click on the data, and there are two ways to highlight. I can click and drag to highlight all the data that I want to sort, or I can click in the cell of the first data that I want to sort, scroll down to get to the bottom of the spreadsheet, hold down the Shift key, and while I hold it down, click on the last piece of data that I want to sort. By holding the Shift key, you're basically telling the computer, highlight everything in between the first cell that I clicked on and the last cell that I clicked on. Okay, so we have all the data highlighted that we want to sort. This time I'm going to click on the Data tab and use this icon because we're doing basically a multiple sort, or a capability to do a multiple sort. I'll click on the icon. Make sure to tell the computer, in this case, my data has no headers. I'll take that check out of the checkbox. And I tell the computer what column I want to sort by. In this case, I want to sort scores from lowest to highest. So I want to sort the data that's in column E, and I want to sort it smallest to largest. Click OK. By using this method, notice that the column headers are still in place, but all the data has been sorted according to the method that we wanted to use. So you have some variations of sorting available within Excel. Even more valuable than sorting is filtering. Let's take a look at how you can filter. I've decided I want to find out all of my students who are below basic, and I want to get a printout so that I can go back into Performance Tracker and find all those students and put them into a focus group. Well, basically what I want to do is filter out everybody who doesn't meet that criteria in Excel. So I want to do a filter. What I'll do is this. I'll simply click in Data and click on this icon that looks like a funnel to turn on the filter. Oh, I forgot to select a cell first. All right, I'll click on any cell within my data range and click on the filter. And notice how these little drop-down arrows appear in each column. If I want to filter by level, I click on the arrow next to the column that I want to filter by. So I'll click on Level, and I want to see only the students who are below basic. I'll take the check out of Select All, choose Below Basic, and the computer will hide any student who does not have a below basic level. I haven't lost that data, it's just hidden. And I can even print out these items. So I could go to File, Print, and print out this filtered list. I can tell a filter is on by looking at the little drop-down arrows in the column headers. There's an arrow that looks like a funnel that tells me a filter is on. I simply click on it and choose Select All to turn the filter off and have all of my data visible again. If I wanted to see all the students who were on the basic level, once again, I click on Level, remove the Select All, and choose Basic. I have filtered out all the other data. Now, some teachers will simply say, okay, my below basic students are going to be my target group, and my basic students might be another target group. Well, here's something to keep in mind. The PSSA cutoff scores vary from grade to grade. Let's take a look at what those scores look like between 6th and 7th grade. Okay, here are the PSSA cutoff scores for reading. Notice in 6th grade, a student who scored, say, 1123 in 6th grade would be in the basic level. But if that student scored 1123 in 7th grade, they've dropped to below basic. Notice if a student scored 1278 in 6th grade in reading, they're in the proficient level. But if that student scores a 1278 in reading on the 7th grade level, they've dropped to the basic level. They've actually dropped a level. So you want to keep in mind not only the students that are currently within the below basic or basic levels, you also have to keep in mind those students that are on the bubble. And if they don't progress, they may end up dropping back a band on the PSSAs. So let's take a look at how we can use Excel to help us determine what students might be on the bubble. Okay, I'm back in Excel. I want to turn off my filters. So I'll click on my little funnel icon, choose Select All, and then go up into Data and click on the filter icon to turn off my filters. Now what I want to do is I want to indicate students that might be on the bubble in the basic and the below basic areas. Well, actually I can use filtering to help me with this. So what I'll do is go to my Data tab, be sure to click somewhere in my column headers, and I'll turn on the filter again. Now what I've decided is the cutoff range for the below basic area is for 7th grade in reading, the cutoff is 1131. Well, I'm going to look at scores 30 points below that and 10 points above that. So I want to look for scores from 1101 to 1141 and find out all the students on the bubble. So what I'll do is I'll click on the drop down arrow to do a filtering, but I need to create a custom filter. In order to do that, I'll point at Number Filters and choose Custom Filter. And I'll basically say, show me all the scores that are greater than or equal to 1101, and at the same time, they're less than or equal to 1141. So these are all my students who are kind of on the bubble for the below basic level. I'll click OK. And if I look at this, I see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 below basic students who are within 30 points of moving up one band to the basic. On the other hand, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 students who, if they don't progress, could fall back into the below basic. So it's very important to look at not only those students who are simply in below basic or basic, but also those students who are on the bubble. Once again, I could print out this filtered list in order to go back into Performance Tracker and make a focus group. The last thing I'll do, I'll turn off this filter and do one more filter and say, show me all the students who are on the bubble for the basic level, who are almost proficient. So again, I need to set up a custom filter. I'll choose Number Filter, Custom Filter, and I'll say, show me all those scores that are greater than or equal to 1249, and at the same time, they're less than or equal to 1289. And there are all my students. Those that are in the basic level, they're on the bubble. I could move them up into proficient. On the other hand, look at the number of students that are currently proficient but are on the bubble and could easily slip back into the basic band. So using the filtering option and some of the sorting options in Excel can help make the manipulation of data very, very easy and help you pinpoint analysis of data. Again, you can print out the results of any of these filterings or sortings and use that information to create student focus groups within Performance Tracker.